Hi, I'm Camille Nitschky, and I'm the Executive Director at the Children's Grief Center of the Great Lakes Bay region here in Midland, Michigan. So we have peer support groups for kids who have had somebody close to them die. We serve the ages 5 to 18, and we also provide an adult group at the same time that the kids come to group. They meet twice a month, and they meet from September until May. One of the most important things that our groups bring to youth is that it gives them a sense of connection and a feeling of belonging, and they know they're not alone in their grief. A lot of them have some of the same feelings, but when you're isolated and you aren't around other people that know how you feel very much alone. And when you've had somebody close to you die at a young age, it completely alters the landscape of your life, and you really don't have any idea how you're going to go on and deal with the big changes that are happening. Every time a milestone happens in your life, you're getting your license, or you're going to your first prom, or you lost your first tooth, whatever it is, and you are looking for that person to be there for you in that moment, and they aren't. And so our kids come to group and they talk about those feelings, and they learn to identify some of the things that they're confused about, and the kids help each other. We don't do counseling or therapy, it's peer support, and so it's the kids helping each other. It's the adults that help each other in the adult group and teach each other how to help their children grieve. Some of the activities we do a lot of art activities, and we have high energy play, gaga ball and basketball and noodle fights and hula hoops, and we do karaoke and dress up. And some of the art activities we do is we have so one of them is like we do masks, and they draw on the inside like what they're feeling on the inside that you don't always want to show to the world, and then also like outside feelings, the ones that we have a tendency to put a smiley face on when really on the inside we're like just feeling hopeless. And so it just allows them to identify the difference, and what we find too is that a lot of the kids' inside faces look a lot the same, and they're adults as well. And so it also gives them something to talk about at home about what they did in group that night that's common between the adult and the child. Some other things that we do is we have an activity with a book called The Invisible String, and we throw a ball of yarn around and we all hang on to it and create this big web of connection, and how you can't always see that web and that string that's connected between us and the kids, or the kids and their person that died, or them and their friends that are supportive, but it's there, and so it just reinforces that. We have been running since 2014. We've served over 100 kids, and we have 3 different sites in 3 different cities, so we're growing leaps and bounds. And what I see is that grief is pretty much the same wherever I go. It doesn't matter what kind of death it was. It's the loss of somebody that you care about, and that sense of missing them and not knowing how you're going to deal with them being gone. So our kids help each other with that, and our volunteers that come to group think, they come and sometimes they have their own experience from their childhoods, and that's what draws them to us. And they also then get to heal a little piece of them from their past, and they're allowed to talk about their person. Sometimes they haven't talked about them in years, because it's not just something that you bring up at lunch, talking about your brother that died when you were 10 and you're 35 years old. And so this is a space for them also to heal. And so they come thinking they're helping the kids, and they are, but they also get help themselves, and the kids help us in group. One of the other things we do is school groups in our outreach, and right now I'm currently doing a group at Heritage High School in Saginaw, and we do art journaling. And so we have big art books and sketchbooks, and we put collage and draw and put different words in them to talk about. And recently I took a positive psychology class with the Flourishing Center in Philadelphia. They came to Midland and taught 39 people in the community to be change agents and focus on well-being and positivity in our community. And we also got Live Happy magazine as a result of that taking that class, and I love this magazine. So I ordered a substantial amount of copies, and I took them to my teens at Saginaw Heritage, and they just devoured them and loved them. And the articles are good, and the art is good, and the photography and any words that are in there, they just really help them focus on bringing in positive, flourishing things to their lives after something so hard has happened. And so I love Live Happy magazine, and I am really grateful to be part of that community as well. So if you have a grief center in your town, there's 1,000 of them over the United States. So look them up, volunteer, donate, do whatever you can, and help this world heal one child at a time.